Okay, so here's a question from Claire. Hi, Lisa. Happy I finally got a chance to catch you live on here. I was curious what you feel are the best ways to unblock, work with, or strengthen the throat chakra. Okay, so the throat chakra in a nutshell, right? It's here. This is how we communicate our authenticity to the world. It's how we also deliver our creative products if we're using anything that has to do with the voice that you can hear, plus the inner voice. And, I'm a Reiki practitioner. I know that you're a Reiki practitioner too. Unblocking the energy in this particular region using your Reiki. You could use Reiki 1 if you think the blocks are stemming from emotional or even past life issues. You can use your symbols for Reiki level 2. If you're Usui Reiki, you can use those symbols in there as well, right? So you go in here and you break it up. Otherwise, you can use go in there and feel it first, right? So you can feel if the blockage is there. Sometimes, even though you're applying the Reiki, it's real stagnant. You feel stagnant energy that's real, and it feels really heavy and sticky for me in my practice. So I literally just, use my Reiki fingers, pull them out, and I go in there energetically and I dig it out. I dig out that block. The important part, Claire, is that you deliver that blockage to your Reiki guides so that they can transport it back to where it originated from. Sometimes it's not your crap. Sometimes it's, penetrated the aura and has come in. So I'd say that's why it gets to go back to where it was delivered from. If it was your own, it just needs to be broken up and then be able to be released. It may actually be released in layers. So, when you have problems in this area with the throat chakra, sometimes they show up in physical manifestations where you might feel like you have a lump in your throat. You might get a really froggy voice. You might be all ready to have a conversation. You're just silent. It just doesn't come out. You're like, I can't get it out. Blah, nothing comes out. Just nothing. So those would be some of the physical manifestations of that. The other is that you might notice that people around you, they're just not getting what you're saying. It's almost like you're being misunderstood, as though you're miscommunicating. They hear you, they see your lips moving, they're having a conversation with you, but for some reason, they're just not getting what you're saying, or they're not believing you, or they're just going off as though you said something completely different. So sometimes those would be some of the symptoms of these blockages in the throat chakra. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is when you realize that this area has that effect, right? So then you can start in sort of baby steps. And I would say to do things that require you to speak your truth, right? So oftentimes these also show up with issues of boundary. So let me just give you a little example. Let's say somebody calls you and they want you to volunteer for their charitable organization this year. And it's a really great charity. It's one that you really like, the people that you really like to be associated with, but you really just don't have the time. And you're almost beginning to feel like you're being guilted into it, So in that case, you want to be able to hold that boundary and use what I call your sacred no. So you say, that's the no that works for you. So it will say to you will say to the other people, no, that doesn't work for me. I'll have to get back to you on that. I can't really commit to that right now. See how I said that without saying no? I can't really commit to that right now. I'll have to get back to you on that. Let me think about it. That doesn't work for me, or you can sort of up-level that and you can use the actual no. No, that doesn't work for me. Sometimes when you have people that are really trying to strongly arm you into doing something, you've got to give them the no. No, that doesn't work for me. I'll have to try to do that another time. I'll talk about it in the future, but for right now, that's not something I'm going to commit to. So that kind of a practice where you're using your sacred no allows you to shore up that boundary and strengthens the throat chakra because you're speaking your truth.